This Halloween, dear listeners, the scariest ghost in your business isn't lurking in the server cupboard or hiding in that shady USB stick. No, it's haunting your software, right inside the tools you trust most. Welcome to the Small Business Cybersecurity Guy. I'm Graeme, joined as ever by Noel and Mauven, and tonight we go ghost hunting, not for the cliches, but inside your tool chain.
Oh, lovely. I'll admit it. Every time someone mentions ghosts in the machine, I get a bit twitchy. Maybe it's my age showing. I remember the days of cassette tape backups, and even back then, I worried about gremlins. My coding skills are, shall we say, distinctly rusty. But I'm the perfect guinea pig for tonight's topic. If you trust your tools, what do you do when those very tools stab you in the back?
I'm not sure what's more frightening, realising your payroll system's haunted, or listening to you two talk about cassette tapes. But it's true. For most people, software tools are invisible helpers until one decides to turn poltergeist.
He's the guy with the plan for your online life. Keeps your data safe, cuts through the strife. Small biz owners, yeah, this is your guide. Cyber threats, beware, no place to hide. The Small Business Cybersecurity Guy, guarding your world with a sharp eagle eye. Tips and tricks to keep your systems tight. Stay secure, stay strong in the digital fight.
This is a special Halloween bonus episode of the Small Business Cybersecurity Guy. I'm Graeme Falkner, and just back from trick-or-treating is my good friend, the magnificently spooky Mauven MacLeod, and the slightly bemused small biz cyber guy himself, Noel Bradford. Let's set the scene. Back in almost cyber prehistory, it's 1984. Ken Thompson wins the Turing Award. He could have bragged about Unix, fair enough, but instead he tells a story that would send shivers down every developer's spine, even today. He basically says, what if your compiler is hiding a secret for years?
I love this story. Thompson didn't invent the supply chain attack, but he made us look at it differently. You want to trust your compiler, the bit of magic that turns your code into something that runs. But what if the compiler itself is, well, bugged? On purpose. And not because of a typo, but because it's been taught, like a nasty trick, to sneak a secret backdoor into other software. Dennis Ritchie and Thompson, absolute legends, but this is proper nightmare fuel.
How he did it is brilliant and devious. So it's a 3-act trick. First the Quine, the program that prints its own code. Then the compiler that can learn a secret, passing it on invisibly. Last, the self-replicating attack. The compiler infects not just programs, but its own children. It's like a digital gene for backdoors. I've got to ask, have either of you ever audited your own compiler, properly, line by line?
Absolutely not. Come on, who actually has? If you say yes, I'll call you a liar.
Not unless you count muttering at GCC warnings at 2 a.m, no. Most of us just assume our tools are on our side, like loyal hounds. But as Thompson proved, sometimes the dog's been trained by someone else entirely.
Time for my infamous genetics analogy. Think of your compiler as the DNA of your business software. If someone sneaks a mutation into that DNA, every bit of software it births, from your CRM to your invoicing app, inherits the mutation. Doesn't matter if you check the recipe every time, the flour is already poisoned at the factory.
And that's the killer point. Source code review won't spot it, because your lovely clean code gets compiled by this haunted, possessed compiler, and it's the compiler shoving in the dirty logic. So, you could be as diligent as you like, looking for backdoors, and you'd never see it, because it never touched the source you hold in your hand.
It's not just developer tools either. Any system building your payroll, your website, or, annoying bits of software that keep updating at the worst possible moment. If the supply chain upstream is compromised, everything downstream is tainted, no matter how squeaky clean your own code is.
It's like opening a bakery. buying flour that secretly got arsenic and not realising until someone keels over. You can argue about hygiene, training, even your apron, but if the supply is bad, you're done for.
Let's play Name That Ghost. First up, XcodeGhost. That was a corker. In 2015, malicious versions of Apple's Xcode, yes, the actual development kit, infected thousands of iOS apps, including ones used by millions. Proper supply chain nightmare. Developers thought they were getting Apple's real tools, but slipped in by third-party sites. Those tools injected malware into apps, and suddenly, hundreds of millions of users had tainted software.
And that's not even the worst. SolarWinds, remember that? The attackers didn't just target a little payroll app. They went upstream, right into the company's software build system. By the time any customer noticed, they had thousands of government agencies and businesses compromised, all because the supply chain was haunted and nobody checked for ghosts in the bakery's flour.
Even in open source, there are EventStream and Log4j, both hit by subtle supply chain contamination. You see how the same principle applies. Attackers sneak in by targeting something everyone assumes is safe, and voila! Everything built or updated with those tools carries the mark of the poltergeist.
I've seen my own share of this. Once, I worked with a small business whose accounting package decided to update itself at midnight without warning. Next day, invoices all over the place, random payments out the door, the sort of mayhem you usually only get after several pints on payday. Turned out, a dodgy patch, slipped in through a trusted update pipeline. Not a ghost server, but as close as you'd want. I swear, most SMBs click update with their eyes shut, fingers crossed, and hope for the best. Am I wrong?
No, and sometimes even the IT folk are the most guilty. It's one more update and you're half asleep, so you trust the pop-up. Until you've been haunted. Right, sponsor time. Let's summon our ghost-proofing for logins. Authenttrend are this episode's exorcists. Their passwordless biometric system means no pins, no passwords, just your living, breathing fingerprint. Hackers can't steal what's not there, can they? And you get to skip the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 password drama.
It's not just your developer tools you need to trust, but how people get into your systems. If your credentials are haunted, read breached, hackers can slip straight through your digital walls, poltergeist style. The biometric access, like Authenttrend offers, helps slam doors on ghosts and those dodgy insiders alike.
If you found out tomorrow one of your staff's passwords was floating around the dark web with the rest of last year's Halloween costumes, what's your plan? Fingerprint sign-ins are starting to look a lot less sci-fi and a lot more like common sense. Back to reality for UK businesses. Let's talk cursed code. I've lost count of how many times a quick fix becomes the forever haunted bit of an organisation. If you've got a single developer and they vanish, you're left with a code base that's more haunted house than healthy home. Tech debt piles up, and every shortcut is like handing out sweets to trick-or-treaters. You're just begging for skeletons to appear later.
There's no such thing as a safe shortcut, especially in code. Even the tiny tweaks, a quick patch, a hard-coded password, a favour for the MD, can be the breadcrumbs ghosts follow into your system. That's why you want at least 2 folk reviewing what goes into your tools, and use standard, well-maintained software with a community behind it. The more eyeballs, the fewer hiding spots for things that go bump in the night.
Beautifully put. And the quick callback to a previous episode, technical debt isn't just about slow systems, it's about leaving dark, cobwebbed corners where bugs and backdoors settle in. If you only ever have one set of hands shaping your business critical code, you might inherit problems so subtle they'll haunt operations for years. Sometimes the worst ghosts are the ones you invited in yourself through convenience.
So what's the stake through the heart for all these digital vampires? First, demand provenance from your software vendors. Ask for supply chain transparency, insist on reproducible builds if they're an option, and never be afraid to ask, who else has looked at this code? Protect access points with 2-factor authentication, not just for staff, but your suppliers too. And if you're not the IT expert, get a partner who won't disappear right after payday.
Here's a question to lose sleep over. What if your IT supplier itself got possessed or went rogue? Would you even know if your security tools had turned traitor? To me, that's the kicker. Never build your digital house so that one person or company can take everything with them or undermine it all unseen. Distribute trust, distribute verification, and whenever possible, verify your verifiers. That's as true for compilers as it is for contractors.
What keeps me up at night, apart from too much builder's tea, is that even with all our precautions, we still end up trusting parts of the chain we can't see, like firmware or that last update from HQ. But here's what gives me hope. As a community, we're finally building checks and balances into the actual process, not just slapping them onto the finished product. More people are awake to the problems Thompson warned about 40 years ago.
Yep, and the more we talk about these issues openly, the less room there is for ghosts to sneak in. None of us can totally unhaunt our code, but we can sure as hell keep the lights on and the doors locked tight.
Well, I'd say that's enough scares for one Halloween, but don't rest easy just yet. We'll be back soon, digging deeper into the crypt of cybersecurity for small businesses. Cheers Mauven, cheers Noel, and thanks to all who've braved the haunted toolbox with us.
Always a pleasure, even with ghosts in the code. And don't forget, links to resources, tips, and that auth-end-trend trial are in the show notes. Until next time, keep your compilers clean and your passwords unpredictable.
Sláinte, folks, and may your backups never rise from the grave. See you all soon.
Click subscribe and join the ride. Together we'll shield the digital tide. Your business is strong when your data's secure. The small biz cyber guy, here to ensure. Thanks for listening, we're signing off. Stay cyber safe no matter the cost. The small biz cyber guy says goodbye. Until next time, keep your day